In 2013, Scott Cawthon released a mobile variant of Chipper & Sons Lumber Company. The game consists of the player performing certain actions, such as talking to characters, collecting material, building furniture, and playing minigames. Despite being modest at launch, the release was met with negativity and was deemed an overall failure. Many players stated the animalistic characters were unsettling and resembled lifeless animatronics. Though Scott was deterred, he used the negative feedback to shape what he thought would be his last game in his already failing game career, to make Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's was released to Desert on August 8, 2014, and later to Steam of August 18th of the same year. The game was extremely well received, sparking its fame off of YouTube and its Let's Play YouTubers. This was the start of a soon-to-be exploding franchise that would branch off into many more game installments, spin-offs, books, fan dubs of said books, merchandise, and eventually its own theatrical release. Welcome to your new job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where you are hired to be the new security guard. The place is a bit of a fixer-upper with 4 animatronics: Chica the Chicken, Bonnie the Bunny, Foxy the Pirate, and the main entertainer himself, Freddy Fazbear. Five Nights at Freddy's is a point-and-click survival horror game. The goal of your game is to work your shift from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. without dying. The game heavily relies on visual and audio cues. Most of the cues are disguised with the use of background noise, which keep the player struggling to process important details. Though these features might have been primitive here, they would be expanded upon much further in future titles. Furthermore, the hectic nature of multitasking aids in masking these subtle details. The office you are assigned to is accompanied with 2 doorways leading to the main stage, one on each side of the office. You are given access to cameras that are set up inside the building. The only camera you cannot see through is the kitchen, with only the audio working. At the start of the first night, you receive a phone call from a speculated colleague.
Hello? I wanted to record a message for you. They're left in some kind of free roaming mode at night. Something about their servos locking up if they get turned off for too long. They used to be allowed to walk around during the day too, but then there was the bite of 87. Yeah. It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know? If they happen to see you after hours, probably won't recognize you as a person. Probably try to forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now that wouldn't be so bad if the suits themselves weren't filled with crossbeams, wires, and animatronic devices, especially around the facial area. The only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your eyeballs and teeth when they pop out the front of the mask.
You easily begin to see that something isn't right within this children's entertainment center. The man speaks of the robots being able to roam at night, and, if caught, they will put you within one of the mascot costumes. They were already turned off during the day because of previous incidents, such as the bite of 87. You are now there to fight for your survival. When accessing the cameras, you can see animatronics moving from up on the stage: Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. Meanwhile, Foxy has his own corner in Pirate's Cove. You can often hear him singing. On the cameras, you witness animatronics getting closer to you, and your only way to defend is to keep track of them with the cameras and lock them out with doors. As soon as night 1, you start experiencing hallucinations. It's Me will appear, and various animatronics will look at the cameras, as if they can see through it, glancing at you. This is just a look at what is to come for the following nights. The chime of bells tells you that 6 a.m. has arrived. You will live to see another day before you return to the nightmare once again. When you don't get to experience the chime, you end up getting jump-scared by one of the pizzeria's residents. You then end up getting stuffed into a Freddy costume. All that can see the light of day again is your eyeballs and your teeth. Night 1 is relatively simple. The only worries are the animatronics Bonnie and Chica. Your job is to keep them from getting inside the office by utilizing both security doors. Near the doors are windows, which allow the player to view the connected hallways by utilizing a nearby light switch. The cameras can also be viewed when animatronics are in areas you can't see within the office. Unfortunately, with all these tools comes with the con: limited power. Full power is given to you at the beginning of the night, which will be used up every time you turn on the lights, close doors, or open up the cameras. The easiest way to make it through the night is to just watch the left door and keep it closed when anything is outside. There is nothing much to know on night 2. You get another call telling you that Freddy and friends will become more active as the week progresses. Night 1 is mostly a tutorial for the game, while night 2 has animatronics become more aggressive. You are forced to check the cameras and hallway lights more often. Foxy can knock on the door twice, causing the power to drain more quickly. If the power goes out, Freddy makes an appearance, letting you know that he's the star of the show. Another call begins night 3. During night 3, the best way to avoid getting caught is to keep tabs on both Foxy and Freddy, since Freddy will now roam around. Freddy will laugh every time he enters a new room. He can only catch you when you are watching the cameras for a different animatronic. Once Foxy leaves from behind the curtain, he'll show up in the West Hall, leaving your only option to close the left door, but draining your power in the process. At this point, I have left out one member of the animatronic crew. Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is a yellow bear with empty eyes. He'll make an appearance in the West Hall corner, replacing the poster that appears there. Once spotted, Golden Freddy will then appear in the office. To get rid of him, prop up the camera and lower it again.
Hey, wow, day 4. I knew you could do it. Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. Oh no.
Though in a great deal of trouble, Phone Guy stays positive throughout his recording. We can assume that Phone Guy is no longer alive, as this is the last time we hear from him. Hallucinations will continue to pop up, again, saying it's me. Tactics from night 3 can be applied to both night 4 and 5. Check on Freddy and Foxy using the cameras. They'll start appearing more often than the previous night. If constantly checking the show stage and Pirates Cove cameras, Freddy will not move and Foxy will move at a slower pace. Check both left and right hall lights as well. Cycle through those 4 to keep the peace temporarily. It's a simple tactic, but be aware that this might kill your power easily. There is no standard call from Phone Guy on night 5. Instead, you get various garbled noises, as if something otherworldly is talking through the other end. Continue the same plan of attack from night 4. Stage cam, Pirates Cove, left hall, right hall, watch for power. If power decreases too easily, take a listen to Freddy's laugh. It'll tell you he's moving from room to room. When completing your 5th night, you get a check for $150, or $4 per hour. You finally see your name, Mike Schmidt. Returning to the main menu shows you earned a star. You also have access to a 6th night. The 6th night has no phone call to start off your night. To complete this night, apply the same techniques from night 5. When completing the night, you earn a check for $120. Good job, sport. You've earned some overtime. On the main menu, you will obtain a secondary star and unlock Custom Night. Custom Night is the 7th and final night. The player can now set the difficulty of the 4 animatronics from 0 to 20. Putting all animatronics at 0, 0, 0, 0 will not deactivate them. Alternatively, all animatronics set to 1, 9, 8, 7 will cause a Golden Freddy jump scare and crash the game. 20-20-20-20 mode was stated by the creator Scott Cawthon as an impossible level. Because of this, he did not add any special ending. When completing 420 mode, you will gain a third and final star from the main menu. Unlike the previous 2 nights, you do not receive a check. Instead, you receive a pink termination slip that reads, "You're fired. Reason: tampering with animatronics, general unprofessionalism, and odor. Thanks, management." Through the storytelling, you obtain information through the newspaper clippings in the East Hall corner. The newspaper explains there were 5 children who went missing at Freddy's, and that someone had been convicted in the incident. The man was assumed to have been dressed as one of the mascots and lured them to the back room, where the kids were never seen again. The bodies of the children were never found and were presumed to be dead. Following this incident, the animatronics all started having a foul odor coming from within them. Because of the missing children's incident and the questionable blood and odor coming from the mascots, Freddy's was being shut down from the health department and lost customers due to the murder incident. Freddy's was stated to close by the end of the year. During 2014, many people had started theorizing about the bite of 87, as mentioned in Phone Guy's message. A handprint had been found on Freddy's face, so it was assumed Freddy had bitten off the frontal lobe of a child. Another theory was based on the "It's Me" writings. Because so many of the "It's Me" messages were scrawled across the restaurant, people came to the assumption that you, the player, were the murderer, coming back again because of the guilt you had faced. Overall, once Five Nights at Freddy's started gaining popularity, Scott realized that maybe his games did have potential and immediately started working on a sequel.